So tonight we have got Fran, who's insisted I call her Fran from LinkedIn. Fran from Future Cloud
Or
Accounting joining us.
Francesca.
Francesca from Future Cloud Accounting joining us to talk about whatever's on her mind today and tell us a bit about her story and how she came to be here. So thanks ever so much. And yeah, tell everyone who's watching a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Francesca. I'll say Francesca because everyone knows me on LinkedIn as Francesca. That's what you're posting it on. I started a business last April with my business partner, but it's been on my mind from probably 10 years previous, to be honest. And we are fast growing. So basically, we started in April. It's a cloud-based accounting practice. And we wanted to be very different, break the norm. And I've been thinking it for years, but I think it's a confidence thing as well, being different, isn't it? And within a year, we'd have an office and 2 team members. So there's 4 of us, and we're looking to employ 2 more.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Francesca. So you opened that office fairly recently, I understand.
Yeah, we got the office keys, I think, end of November.
So you had a couple of months to get like a lick of paint up on the walls, and then all of a sudden lockdown.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Wow, that must have been a little bit dispiriting when you're kind of in a growth cycle and you're taking on team members and getting the premises all of a sudden. I know you said that you're still working really well remotely, but you know you've got the excitement about having the office and you don't get to spend any time there.
Yeah, and it's so scary at first because at first you're in denial, aren't you? No, they're not going to do that. You're not going to lose your holidays. They're not going to make people all work from home or close gyms. I was in denial because I always try and see the positives and everything, but you just adapt, and we've adapted really well. You've just got to check in on your team basically, and just do it obviously from home.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that we did this business last year rather than this year, and the fact that we can do it all virtual.
Yeah. Yeah, and people who you mentioned gym there, I guess people who follow you on LinkedIn will see a sort of common thread through some of your videos, which are and it's how I spotted you on LinkedIn actually, the sort of outrageous fitness or quirky exercise challenges like the handstand, top putting on and plank challenge, and there was a bring Sally up push-up challenge as well. Like, are you missing the gym? Are you missing getting into the gym and doing your thing, or are you happy?
I only started the gym not that long ago, to be honest.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, and you can do so much from home.
Yeah.
But I do miss the group environment, the social element. And I've got weights at home, and I know loads of people have. If you're into that kind of thing, you know what you're doing, you know what you can do to adapt. And there's so much guidance out there. And the gym that I go to, we're providing online systems anyway. So it's been absolutely fine, but it's pushed me to do more press-ups. They're so hard, honestly, aren't they?
They are hard, and I think press-ups are like one of the most underrated bodyweight exercises you can do, because too many people go, oh, well, if you can do 30 or 40 or however many you can do, people sort of think, well, it's not hard enough, it's not heavy enough. But if you do it really strict, really slow, I really like push-up. Yeah, I think it's the best all-round chest exercise. Gets your delts in there and your triceps as well. So I really like it. My body has gone to rat shit in lockdown, by the way, so I'm packing like an extra stone from what I was. But you look like you're hitting it pretty hard still, which is great.
Yeah, but I have put weight on. I put about half stone.
Have you?
Yeah, but in body fat, because obviously I'm not as strict with my food, to be honest. How can you be strict with everything in life when this is going on? Let's be honest. Give yourself a break.
I completely agree, and I read a thing the other day that sort of said, look, you know, if you're going through a period that's really, really stressful, where a lot of things are changing quickly and they're all outside of your control, like you said, just don't panic if your diet's not the best it ever has been, or your exercise isn't the best it ever been. Just give yourself a break, be kind to yourself, and kind of pick up afterwards. Just get through it one at a time.
Because I'll be honest, I've done a video before this just to say that I'm coming on to chat to you and stuff, and I have a lot today, and I've been eating a lot of chocolate, and I made a joke about your thighs rubbing together and your muffin top starts coming and things get tighter, and it is disheartening. You think, oh, you start beating yourself up, but then I've just got to keep reminding myself, I know what to do if I want to lose weight again. It's just hard work. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
And the same for business.
It's quite topical at the moment, this sort of weight loss thing, because I saw a couple of people have posted up, oh, wow, you know, look at Adele now, doesn't she look fantastic? She's lost loads of weight. And, you know, fair enough, she has transformed their body. You know, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing is for people to decide. But there's quite a lot of backlash saying, you know, she's won Grammys and Emmys and she's a successful recorder artist. She's been around for years, and now all of a sudden she's just a before and after shot, and there's a bit of a kind of backlash against it. And I kind of get it, but I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think it's focusing on her for the wrong reasons, or do you think we should be celebrating the fact she's achieved something else in addition to everything else she's already achieved?
I saw it briefly on Instagram. Someone had shared it, like she looked really slim and whatnot. If you like, she's going to get everyone criticizing, commenting. If you put yourself out there, so obviously, even if on LinkedIn you're a bit more exposure, the more people that get to know you, they're going to judge. They're going to have something to say.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I don't like it, but she's probably embarrassed that she's lost so much weight in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you lose weight, you kind of want to cover up, but when you're bigger, you kind of want to cover up because you're getting judged.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've heard people say that have lost a load of weight. When people come up to them and say, "Oh, wow, you've lost loads of weight," what they hear is, "You used to be really fat," and then it kind of makes them feel bad again. And it's sort of like it's bizarre that people think they've got this sort of innate right to comment on people's size and shape, physical form, just because they've lost a bit of weight.
Yeah,
it's really strange, isn't it? But
they don't obviously mean harm.
No.
This is what I've been saying. So in the last year, I've been working on myself. Well, probably longer, to be honest, because you know when you're single as well, you can really take care of just you. And I've learned to love myself, because in the past I've been with bad boys, and now I've changed so much that because I appreciate myself more and I see my worth, I'd never do it again. So when you hear a comment that's not the best, if you're happy with yourself, it will not bother you. So that really works in business as well. Like I've taken a few things personally. I'm learning now that it's not personal, it's business. It's very separate.
Yeah. So just taking from that, then you're a single mum. You have been for some time, or I don't know how long for. But I've got the utmost respect for single mums. I was just me and my mum from the age of like 18 months. So there's no stigma associated with it for me. I didn't know any different. As I sort of got older, I realised that there was a bit of societal stigma around it to an extent. I don't think there's so much now, but do you think that's been an additional challenge for you, or do you think, like you said, it's actually made you in a way because you had to kind of be strong and on your own and deal with adversity?
Yeah, it has made me stronger. I could have been the typical mum. There is no typical mum, but I could have been that stay-at-home mum because benefits and whatnot. And obviously, I've had to have benefits when I was studying 10 years ago.
Which incidentally, I'll jump in and say, I don't think there's any shame whatsoever in people using the welfare state if they need it for however long they need it for. That's just my political spin on it. But
it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I had to have benefits, to be honest, because it's hard. You're going back to college. I did it for nothing. Basically, they didn't pay me to go to college. In fact, I had to take out a loan to do it, and I've got to pay it back. So I didn't want to be that typical stay-at-home mum. It wasn't for me. I wanted to work hard, but then I almost at the time felt bad for doing it because of judgmental people. Oh, she's never at home with the kids. But in order to graft and get where I am, I've had to sacrifice a hell of a lot.
Yeah. And you know what do you think the biggest sacrifice was? Was it just that time that you kind of didn't get to spend with your kids, or was it the judgment of other people? What was the hardest part about saying, right, I'm going to go and qualify, and I'm going to turn my life around?
It's almost like I woke up at 25, I think it was, and thought I'm going to go back to studying. I want to try things. I saw that I was good at things, and I started seeing how other people do things and question, I won't do it like that. I did that a lot. And I thought, right, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go back to studying. And then I had to sacrifice nights out with all the girls that were all dolling themselves up and had all the money, you know, because they're in different positions. They were driving nice cars, and there's me in my Peugeot 206, feeling embarrassed and counting every penny. I stopped drinking coffee out because I wanted to buy a house by the time I was 30. That was my goal. I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to save. I'm going to be strict. I'm going to study. I was out of control with everything, really, because I really wanted that much. I ended up getting myself an eating disorder at the time because I was trying to control food. And And then I ended up buying a house. I think I put an offer on just before my 29th birthday. So that was like, and when I told my sister, I've got two sisters, my mum, they were like, how the hell have you done it? Because they used to, obviously they love me, I know they do, but they didn't get it. They didn't get why I didn't really go out and do much. I didn't go on the luxury holidays. We went to a £10 deal Butlins. You know, and
the sun holiday deals when I was a kid.
Yeah, did that, yeah.
That's amazing. And congratulations on beating your own goal. And it seems to be a common thread, not just amongst female entrepreneurs, but successful business leaders in general. That kind of obsessive, driven, single-minded focus on achieving something. And from the sounds of it, you said you had an eating disorder and a few other things at the time that weren't ideal. So it's not without cost, I guess. But how much of that ethos is still, the kind of ethos that you bring now, and how much have you gone, you know what, I can't sustain that for another 5 years, and you've sort of left it behind?
What do you mean, sorry?
That extreme drive, that obsessive need to kind of achieve and achieve and achieve. Are you still that driven, or have you toned it down a little bit to kind of survive?
Oh, God. It got worse when I left my job last year. I was in survival mode. I thought, this is the only way is up. I'm going for it. I'm thinking big. I like the idea. I just want my kids to be really looked after when they're older. And I know they haven't been spoiled as such when they were younger, but I think, and even now, I'm nowhere near it. I'm not, me and my business partner have taken the minimum money you do for the first year because we're investing in the people. But it's coming good now. It will turn around, but it's not about money. I'm really happy that I'm doing things my way. And success means to me is being happy, waking up every day like with a purpose. I've got a purpose because I've got a business to run, and I'm helping a team. And I've met a great business partner. We're very opposite, but it just works.
Yeah. And I love your I don't know whether this is your tagline in all of your corporate stuff, but the dare to be different. Is it dare to be a different accountant?
Yes. So I did my very first video when I was self-employed last year and put the journey is real. So that's my main, but the dare to be different hashtag. So I've been asked to do a speaking event at Accountex. I don't think you've heard of it, but it's a big accountancy thing. And I've never spoken before, and I've called it Dare to be Different. Yeah. And then I got the gig, but obviously it's been cancelled.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I don't want to in any way denigrate the fine career of accountancy, but it's rare to see someone get super enthusiastic about something that I think a lot of people would say, oh man, I'm so happy someone else does my accounts for me, because not a lot of business owners love doing it. So,
but you know why?
Why?
Because when I was at Duncan and Topless, and I heard about Xero, so it was a cloud-based accounting that you can do from your phone and stuff. I thought, like, this is like so much easier. People were overcomplicating the accounts, and I'm not the most technically minded going. I'm not. But I work hard. I question everything. I want to know the ins and outs of a business. I love the thought of a business growing, and I know how to help a business grow. But when they were doing the accounts in like a year later, what good is that? But when you can do it through your phone on an app, it's like real-time information. I got quite excited about that theory.
Yeah.
So I was, in my head, I was thinking, I wish I could just do it. But I felt never good enough, because I wasn't your typical uni to then study hard like the way these students do. I've done it the opposite way. So I started the job probably when I was 27, 28.
Yeah.
I was probably on 12 grand a year. Ridiculous, honestly.
Wow.
I had to lower my salary to get my foot in the door at this like firm that I really looked up to. And I grafted for 6 years there to get to know everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
To do this.
So did you sort of know at what point in that 6 year stint in kind of full-time employment did you know you were working towards starting your own business?
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, it hit me December 2018. I thought, I got all anxious about it, but I'm going to do it. And then when I met Charlotte, it was like a no-brainer. It just kind of clicked, and I thought, I need her, because she's done chartered as well.
Right. Okay.
So it was just a beautiful fit, and she knew Xero inside out. I knew Xero. I've been working on it for 3 years. I used to study at night. I used to read up on it. I used to learn my own way. while still learning at Duncan and Topless. And I used to ask so many questions, they got sick of me. It was quite funny, actually. Just so I could do this. And I'll never, honestly, the best thing I've done. But it's hard work.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you know, at the moment, I guess you're still doing a huge amount of client work remotely, but you can't go prospecting and doing the business development side without face-to-face engagement is tricky. You know, we're finding the same thing. You want to get out and meet people and shake hands, ironically, and it is harder. But I'm glad you guys are doing so well. It's an amazing success story. You know, 12 months from nothing to a team and a building and a really successful business is a fantastic story. So talking about the differences, the way you and your business do things differently, I guess it's fair to say that the majority of accountancy firms won't be on LinkedIn doing videos, then smashing out push-ups and putting on their vest one-handed. So that's definitely a difference. What else? You know, what else do you think you do differently? Your approach, in what ways are different?
One of the first things I said to Charlotte when we said we're going to set up, I said, right, we need a really different logo. We're not going to have your typical. I wanted like really colourful, really bubbly looking and fun logo. Then I said, right, we're going to wear hoodies, we're going to wear jumpers. That's the first thing I planned ages ago. I was like, why do you have to? I'm not wearing smart suits and stuff. I want to wear trainers. I want to wear my Vans. I want to be casual as anything. And she's like, she was on the same page on that. So yeah, let's do it. So we did that. And I think you can be kind and nice and helpful and go out your way a little bit for nothing.
Yeah.
And I was doing that all through Duncan and Topless and questioning and helping clients if I can. And I think that's where I was very different. Yeah. I'd get upset. I shouldn't, but I've got empathy, a lot of it. And a lot of typical accountants don't have that element. Because there's colours for personalities, isn't there? Have you heard of that?
I'm not I don't understand I've never heard this idea of like, yeah, certain types of colours represent certain personality types, but I'm not going to profess to be an expert.
I'm got an element of it, but I'm not your typical colour accountant colour.
So what colour would an accountant be? I'm going to say in my head an accountant's going to be grey. Am I wrong? am I being super harsh?
Not 50 Shades, eh?
Well, you know, who knows what they've got behind
closed doors. No, I think typical accountant's meant to be blue.
Is that sort of calm?
I'm wearing a blue top.
Is that like cool and calm and calculated and reserved, or what does it mean? What does blue mean?
It means no personality. No, joking. What does blue mean? I can't remember. Me and my business partner did it. She had a lot of blue, to be honest, but then she had the element that worked.
Yeah. So what are you?
I think it was red. I think she had a blue and red. But
Okay.
I was green and yellow or something with a touch of blue.
I'm gonna have to go and look this up after so I can figure out what all these colours mean because I
don't know. It was ages ago. We did it together for a laugh.
So what you're saying is you guys complement each other really well in your personality types, and actually you probably do have a slightly more gregarious personality, certainly than my very stereotypical view of what an accountant is going to be like. So yeah, there's probably an element of truth to that, I guess.
Definitely.
So one of the threads that we're trying to sort of weave through all of this is feminism, and not to push the agenda, if there is an agenda, but just to sort of figure out how these women, these inspirational women like you that I'm talking to, feel about it. Does it play a part in your life? Does it play a good or bad part in your life? If it does, have you had to overcome gender discrimination? Do you still have to overcome it? I just kind of want to understand what your place in the world as a successful woman feels like in 2020.
I was brought up from an Italian family that always used to say, "You need a rich man." So in that case, it's I'm the cook, the clean, and the stay at home.
Yeah.
And then because I got with idiots.
We'll edit that bit. We'll edit the idiots out.
No, you don't need to. Keep it in. I had a hard time with them. I'm not gonna lie. And I did have your little job when I was younger and with little kids, and I felt like I couldn't bring my own I wanted to bring my own half, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I wanted to not rely on a man ever again. And that is when my mission started. And that was when my son was probably, I think he was 2, like Matt's studying.
Yeah.
So that's my mission. And I've just got on with it. And I've had a couple of relationships since, but they're just not quite right. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And you know, being a female business owner in your particular trade, in your industry, do you think it's a help, it's a hindrance, or it's kind of by the by, it's irrelevant?
What do you mean it's a help?
Well,
Business owner-wise?
I've heard again, some of the women that I've spoken to have said that actually being a female in a sort of male-dominated industry wrongly creates lower expectations of them, and then when they walk into the room and they actually know more than anybody else in there, or they're very confident, or they're very competent, or all three, it kind of allows them, people are on the back foot immediately. So I know some women, particularly female engineers, there aren't a huge amount of those, use it to their advantage, and not in an exploitative way, but just the fact that people don't assume they're going to be as good as the men, which is the wrong assumption, but it's still an assumption some people hold. So that would be, you know, whether you consider that helping or not, I don't know. But I'm just interested to know whether you think it's relevant to your day-to-day, you know, running of the business.
No, I think what me and Charlotte will be good at was we'll be kicking men into touch from 2 stronger women, and I think we've had really good feedback about that. And also we're very direct as women as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's quite hard, especially with guys. You've got to be quite confident and hold your own. But that's the only thing I can think of that's held me back.
Yeah.
In a business type thing, in a relationship type thing, I was with guys that weren't right for me, so I did feel like I wasn't my true self.
So you were diminishing yourself to an extent to sort of fit that role, wasn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I would never have had this business if I was with the certain exes in the past. Definitely not.
But you know, it's a really good thing, and I'm really happy that you've extricated yourself from those relationships, because a lot of people sadly don't. They get stuck into it, and there's varying degrees of shitty relationships, from not quite right all the way up to, you know, domestic abuse and that kind of horrible stuff. And a lot of women find themselves trapped, whether physically or emotionally. They kind of feel like they're almost, their self-confidence is worn down so much by that relationship they can't.
I see it all the time, like people putting up just because their confidence has made them feel that they can't move on, or they just do it for the sake of the kids. And I just think, God, I'd never ever do that. I could have done that, obviously, of course I could, but no, I think you get one life, and you've got to be happy, and you've got to be true to yourself, and the kids will be so much happier if you are in a bad environment, especially if you've been together since from a young age.
And it's
people grow and change.
It's weird. It still seems to me that when a relationship ends, especially if there's kids involved, if it's the woman that's done the leaving, it always seems like she cops more judgment from her friends and family than when it's a bloke who does the leaving. I don't know if it's true, but it kind of seems that way to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've not really seen many that the women leave, though. It's normally the men that kind of balls it up.
Why? It's weird, isn't it? Really strange.
Because most of the time, especially if you've been together a long time, the man is the main earner, the dominant one. So the women feel probably scared that they're not going to be able to hold their own. Women don't like to be on their own at night and stuff. I'm not like that. I love my own company, as sad as it sounds. But I've learned to do that.
Yeah. You know, and thinking about that and hearing you talk, you know, it's clear there is still a long way to go. You know, I was chatting to Kate Thornton earlier in the week, and she was Chief Customer Officer at BA, so really, really a brilliant career, and kind of rose through that career in the 90s when there was a bit more, even more gender inequality in the workplace and stuff. But again, she sort of said didn't really feel like it held her back. She pushed on, and you also are saying the same thing. So it hasn't held me back. I'm doing really well. Clearly, there is still that, you know, the fact that you say there, a lot of women feel like, well, for whatever reason, they earn less money, or they're not the main dominant force in the relationship, that they can't go elsewhere. So clearly, there's still a lot of work to do on that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. This is why I worked so hard to get my own house, my own things.
Yeah.
I was brought up to believe, like my mum, she wasn't the main earner, my dad was. So I was brought up to think, well, am I just going to have a little job as an admin or whatever? And that's okay for people who want to do that, but deep down I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was fighting it to be like that. It was weird.
So your
It's
parents
like one day I literally woke up and thought, right, I'm going to do more. Come on.
Yeah. So your parents are Italian?
No, my dad is, but I don't have contact with my dad now. But my dad is Italian, one's English.
Oh, okay. So you were born in the UK then, I assume?
Yeah, Nottingham, yeah.
Did you get any time back and forward to Italy when you were a kid, or is it?
I've never been.
Well, you're gonna have to go. I bet you. I bet you there's a tiny little village somewhere in Italy called Tricarico. There's bound to
bound to be, or Italian dish.
Yeah, that's it. There'll be something, won't there?
Francesca.
Yeah, exactly that. But I mean, I guess do you know anything about that lineage? Do you know anything about like that side of the family, or is that just
No. I will go to Italy one day though.
Yeah. We spent our honeymoon there. It was best. I'd live there tomorrow if I could. It was amazing. Tuscany.
Beautiful. Whereabouts did you go?
We did like a chunk of time in Venice, then a week in Tuscany, and then we drove down to Rome and finished up there. And it was just unbelievable. Tuscany was just like paradise. The food, the people, the scenery. It was
so good.
Yeah, really. You'd love it, especially if you like nice food. You're in your element. It's
definitely a foodie.
Delicious, fresh ingredients, really nicely cooked. God, it's making me hungry, and it's making me want to go back to Italy. So.
Get some more snacks down here. I've got a few to have later.
It's really sad, but is there anything that you're doing now that you're kind of really dependent on now for your day-to-day sanity that you didn't have in your life before? You didn't think would be a big thing?
I'm probably sleeping more.
That's no bad thing.
When I started the business, it was literally running on adrenaline because I was that excitable. I'm pushing the comfort zone. So it was so easy for me to just stay at home, do my bit, do a couple of tax returns, keep it quiet. Obviously, we've got monthly retainers in our business, and then gear it again when it stopped. But I thought, no, I'm not necessarily grabbing business, but I've always put myself out on LinkedIn in a different way from the beginning. But I've stepped it up a notch because I'm showing that you can do little challenges, you can still smile. And I love the thought of helping others make them smile because I know a lot of people don't have that strong mindset.
But it's amazing and I think you're a really good example of this, is that I don't mean this in a critical way, I don't think I've seen like a business professional kind of selling video from you on LinkedIn at all, and yet I know what you do and I see you on my LinkedIn feed all the time, and I always kind of stop and read your post or watch the video because it's going to be something that's going to entertain me or give me something to go off and try, with push-ups or whatever it might be. And I think that seems to be the most effective way to get engagement, and then I guess probably from that business on LinkedIn. But was that a conscious decision for you to go, right, I'm going to do some really off-the-wall stuff, or did it sort of happen over time?
No, it just was that one morning. I thought I'm going to do the Bring Sally Up, but the squats. That's my first silly one after lockdown. See how far I can go. And I just went, oh, did you watch Boris last night? And then carried on going up, down. Oh, God. Thinking, this is going to be so boring. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, stuff it. It was about 7 a.m. And when I posted it, and I got loads of engagement, and people saying, oh, I'm going to try that. Oh, well done. Everyone, whoever, people are lying if they don't like showing themselves off, because we are show-offs doing it. And, you do want people to like, but you've also got to remember, no one does like it. Doesn't matter. We go again. We go again. I rather inspire that one person. Just do a bit of exercise early in the morning, and I'm happy. Especially when they're saying, "Oh my God, I've done my plank," and people see that I could do a 3-minute plank. It's come from years of being dedicated to training, and if I'm dedicated to that, you can imagine what I can do for people's businesses because I'll put effort in. Yeah, that 3-minute plank nearly killed me, by the way. Like I'm too heavy for planks. That was awful. That's the worst 2 minutes of my life. I never do a video again. So if I did that 3-minute plank, I didn't do 2 minutes and think, oh, I'll try again next week. I did it. So this is it. And then that handstand one, I watched it back and thought, oh, my arm's shaking too much. But I thought, stop it.
Absolutely.
Put it on. Yeah.
No, I must admit, when I was slightly concerned I was gonna break my nose on that one, but I don't know who comes up with these things because they're so Oh, the plank, everyone knows about the plank, but like the handstand, putting your top on thing, who comes up with these things?
Well, this is Tom Johnson, his name is. He bloody told me to do it on Instagram. And I went, saw it. I thought, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
So I tried to think, right, I'll put on my Vans because the rubber, just give it a go. And I just put it on first time. I thought, I'm not messing about.
Smashed it. And it was your Future Cloud, it was your Future Accounting hoodie, wasn't it, or your top?
So we use an app called Receipt Bank in our business.
Yeah.
And obviously we pay them for it. I thought, I'm going to do them a shout out, tag them, because they sent me t-shirts. So I kind of thought, not Receipt Bank, it was Zero. Receipt Bank was another one that I did.
Excellent. And
people have to watch my videos. I cringe at myself though, I do.
I really like, on LinkedIn, I really like that sort of social content. Occasionally I'll read, if it's clear that someone's making a serious point, this is the thing, if they've hooked me in with some good stuff before and they make a serious point, I kind of feel like they've earned my time reading their serious point. So I will read it and I might engage with it, I might comment on it. But if people are just all serious, all business all the time, they're not even in my newsfeed anymore because I've unfollowed them.
Oh really?
I don't
brutal.
I don't want relentless. I know it is a business platform, but if people aren't giving me something else, a little bit of personality on there as well, I'm kind of not interested, because it's meant to be for me a personal networking or a business interpersonal networking site. And if you're not seeing a little bit of the person behind the business, it's not serving its purpose for me. Is there anyone on LinkedIn that you follow that you think you really, really like their content, you really like the way they make videos and how they put themselves out there?
I like Andy Barden. He's quite funny. Chris Williams.
Chris, yeah.
My friend Simone Hall.
Because
so Simone.
I'll say it's Andy. Is he the unconventional boss with glasses?
Yes.
Yeah. He's cool. I like it.
He's funny.
Yeah.
There's loads. There's been absolute loads. What's his name? Craig Brooks, the Winder guy.
Big beardy. Big unit.
Yeah, so I've had a Zoom chat with him.
He's a great guy.
A girl called Lauren, but she's come off LinkedIn a little bit. You know what? I thought I'd never meet friends on there, and I am. And it's hard to know who's genuine on there, because I thought people are just going to go, oh, she loves herself and the show off. But I'm actually I'm normal. I'm open to having conversations and making friends out of it. So Simone, for example, she was commenting on my videos. Then she was like, oh, you're so inspirational. Can I use your hashtag? I said, yeah, of course you can. Then I said, I'll be in London this day and that, this, that, the other. She said, oh, we'll meet up. So I met up, and then she became my client.
That's awesome.
And then we chat all the time.
That is what you just described there. That is like the perfect social selling route, isn't it? You create a bit of buzz. People like what you're saying. They like you as a person. Then they have a need for your service, so they buy your service. And I think sales has always been that way, but sometimes kind of by accident. People think they're selling because they've got a great sales process. They don't. They're just selling because people like them. Yeah. And I think that,
I do like Benjamin Brain as well. If you see him, I've done some podcasts. I've won 2 podcast videos with him.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation right near the beginning of my business. So it's just being around like-minded people, good people, that will support you and get you.
That's amazing. And a lot of people that I've spoken to have said the same thing, that they've either made like genuine friends through the platform, or that they've put a cry for help, a request for support of some kind onto the platform, and complete strangers have come back saying, oh, I know someone in this business or that industry, or if someone's looking for a job, they hook them up with a chat with somebody else. And it does seem to be a slightly kinder type of environment than your sort of Facebooky kind of thing where everyone's just screaming and caps locking everybody else all the time. Yeah.
You always get that one that comments something, and I'm like, I don't like it. I'm like, oh God. But you've got to stop thinking. It doesn't matter what others think. If you're true to yourself, it shouldn't matter.
So be honest then, because obviously you post quite a lot of videos that are kind of physical, so people are seeing you doing something physical. And in some blokes' minds, that's like a green light. It's like a red rag to a bull. They're like, oh, well, she's doing something in squat pants. There you go, boom. I'll say something inappropriate. So do you got blokes sliding into your DMs with a kind of?
I've had a few, and I reply. Makes me cringe.
Of course it does.
Because I don't like that kind of thing. I know you should be allowed to do those things,
Absolutely, when you are, clearly, you know, and you absolutely
Yeah.
should be allowed to do those things.
So even on Instagram, I don't want them, or Facebook. It doesn't, because, and even worse when it's a business one. But I'm using the business one as social, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to get your DMs in your Instagram, aren't you, than you are on LinkedIn?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I just ignore it. They'll soon know. I'm quite blunt.
I have a theory about that, and you know, I can't imagine it ever results in a positive response. Someone sort of, you know, receives that kind of very inappropriate opening message and then goes, "Oh,
Oh,
thanks for the lovely message." So my theory is that the people that are doing this are just doing it to be on a power trip. They just know they're going to make someone feel uncomfortable, and that's kind of why they're doing it.
must be. I don't get it.
Because it's never going to work, is it? They're never going to go, "Oh, what a lovely inappropriate message. Let's go for a drink." It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
No, someone's actually said, "Oh, after lockdown, don't we take you out for a drink?" Definitely, you're my type of banter. And I says, "No, thanks. No, thank you."
Yeah, no.
But you do get your inboxes, but not just that. Even random salesy inboxes, I can't. You know, but I'm always polite because I just
Yeah.
think they're trying, aren't they?
Absolutely. I think if someone's done like a copy and paste mail, I just ignore it. If someone's taken the time to have a look at my profile and they've said, "Oh, I see you doing this and you've done that and the other. If you've got any interest, you know, hook me up with a call." I'll say thanks, but no thanks. Or actually, sometimes, yeah, okay, let's chat. But if there's no effort at all to qualify you
Yeah.
as a potential lead first, then I just
I have done a lot. Like, there's loads I could share with you that I got through. That's probably what's made me so much stronger now.
well, please do. I mean, you know, I don't want to you to sort of feel like you're dredging up unpleasant memories, but the purpose of this for me is for people to watch it and go, "Wow, that person's overcome some shit, and maybe I can too," or that they've had a similar experience to me, and I'm going to be okay. So, what do you think those formative experiences were? That
God.
well, I mean, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I don't want to pressure
Yeah, no, I will. It is hard to talk about. So, 2016, I was just learning. Well, I've done zero a year, I think it was, and I was just getting to grips with it and really studying it at my job. And then my son got diagnosed with cancer at 6, Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone saying, "Oh God, you won't be able to go to work. You'll be bedridden. You won't be able to go to school." And you know what? Because I'm quite a positive person, we kept him very positive. He got through it. It was 6 months worth of chemo, and so we started it. I think it was May, finished it by the October. Had the all clear, which is amazing because it was a good cure rate.
Yeah.
And he missed probably in all that 6 months. We both missed about 4 weeks of school and work, and I took work home. I studied. I used to go to work after dropping him off at school. Then I'd go to school, give him his medicines, go back to work. Then I'd go and get him, give him his medicines at home. And it's just like, it was relentless, but I was just determined. And you know what? He doesn't dwell on it now. And he's such a good boy. He's head boy in year 6. Obviously, he's not at school now. He helps others. And yeah, it was amazing how he got through that because we was all so positive. But it was the hardest time of the year. I just wanted to run away. Bit like now, to be honest. I think loads of people are thinking, just want this year out of the way because of what's going on. But I just think there's loads of worse situations.
Well, that one for a start, you know, that's
yeah. But I saw, to get through it, I saw kids that actually were dying from cancer. So that made me think, well, this isn't too bad. We can do this.
Jesus.
And so we did.
I can't even imagine, you know, how horrific that must have been. We've got two girls, and oh God, it's taken my breath away a little bit. You know, the thought of having that news, finding that out, and then having to kind of shoulder it up and deal with it. So yeah, if you can get through that, you can get through.
And then all the medicines and
Cool.
It was hard. And the only way I got through it as well was keeping a normality. You have to keep normality for him, and that it's just like a trip to a dentist. Let's not make this big deal, wrap him up in cotton wool.
Yeah.
Let's treat it, take it day by day. And I know people commented at me like, I wasn't with his dad, and I know his way would have been completely different to my way. But he is a better child for the positive thinking and the upbeat and going to school the normal way he could. Obviously, he was genuinely ill, but I think it's all in your mind. If you tell yourself I feel sick, you start you are. So
you say he's 11 now?
He's going to be 11 in July, yeah.
July. Does he ever talk about it? Does he ever sort of say, "Wow, I went through some serious stuff there"?
A little bit. He's no, not very often. He's very good at football. I don't know if you've seen. I've posted a video of him. He doesn't dwell on it.
That's amazing.
So if we watch a program that's got that cancer link to it, like Celebrity Bake Off, and that I could see him watching it intently when they do a story about someone who's got cancer and stuff, and we have a little look at each other. But he's not one of those. He doesn't dwell on it. Oh, I have that cancer, and get me more, give me more. And honestly, I've got very good kids. I'm very lucky.
Wow, amazing. So I guess, like you said, if you can punch your way through that, then anything else is a bit of a breeze in comparison, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. Like, like I said, I was meant to get married in 2018, and 3 weeks before my wedding, it'd gone.
Oh well, but his lot. I'm going to speak on behalf.
But obviously at the time I was heartbroken, mortified.
And again,
so
that brings with it a kind of, that brings with it sort of humiliation and shame of that close. You've sent out your invites, people are all planning to go, and you've got to then tell everyone it's not happening. That's a horrible thing, and it does seem to fall more. There's more shame associated almost with being the person that's kind of been left behind, and the son of a bitch who's legged it.
Yeah, he got a lot of stick for it. It's hard when I've got 2 children and he didn't have kids, and it was hard for it. I just felt like had to look after them, so I had to be the strong one.
Yeah.
But I was mortified, absolutely mortified, especially when you've got the countdown on Facebook and everyone knows about it. And I'm quite well known locally because I like to do a lot of things for charity and socially as well. And now I've just felt embarrassed. It took me a long time to really get my confidence back, because I felt like I'm not good enough. But honestly now I'm like, thank God, look at me now. You bastard.
Before you started the business, obviously, wasn't it? If you started in December 2018, you said.
Yeah. So he left Mother's Day in March, was due to get married beginning of April.
Yeah.
And then I started the business a year later. So even then, I didn't know that was coming. But all of a sudden, I got this urge in me. I've learned a lot now. I can help others. I'm getting agitated. Got some really good ideas. I'm really clever. Even though just because I haven't done the high-end exams, I know I am. I know my attitude is really good.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've hit it hard. And my business partners work relentless hours. She's got 2 little kids. She's amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing. Well, I think if we're going to have an environment in 10 or 20, however many years, where women and girls genuinely have, the same opportunities as men, but not just opportunities, but they don't get the catcalling, they don't get the weird people saying inappropriate shit to them. I don't want my daughters putting up with that when they're 18 or 25 or 55.
Yeah.
What it's going to take is boys now having their views of women shaped in a positive way, because the guys, I say this generalisation, I don't like to make generalisations, but men who are still of a certain mindset and of a certain age are unlikely to change their views at that point in their life. But young boys and young men who are still sort of malleable they're the ones that you kind of need to get. And your son is seeing you, overcoming adversity, being really strong, doing it on your own, running a business. He's not learning that women can't do it, or women are weak, or women aren't capable. He's getting a fucking awesome example. So hopefully he'll grow up knowing that actually women are just as capable as men.
Definitely.
And you're giving that same example to your daughter as well, so she'll hopefully come out with her own sense of self-worth.
Yeah. Another one of my goals was to go into a school and share mine and Charlotte's journey, and we did it. When did we do it? February. We did it for the year 10s at the local school, my daughter's school. So not my daughter's year, but my daughter's school, even though she was embarrassed.
Year 10s.
I was so nervous, I was shaking. You what, sorry?
But the year 10s, so they're like 15, 14, 15. Oh, tough crowd.
They all went up to Bella after, put it that way. But you know what? I wanted to show that the accounting profession has completely changed.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in the usual way, or you don't have to actually study accountancy either. There's ways around everything, and if you work hard, believe in it, and love helping others, you're halfway there.
That's brilliant. And did they react well? Do you think?
Yeah,
Did
they
they
did.
enjoy it? Did they
We had
engage?
one boy came up to us and went, "I'd like to work for you."
Oh, amazing.
We're going to get an apprentice hopefully at some point as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think apprenticeships are fantastic if you can get a bit of funding as well.
Yeah,
Fantastic. You know, if you get someone who's 16, 17, just out of school, they're like a sponge at that age. You know,
yeah,
the brain's just soaking up everything. In fact,
yeah.
I saw a ridiculous post earlier today. Do you know Stephen Bartlett, the CEO of Social Chain? He was like,
Someone else has mentioned this. What are you going to say
he's like
about social
26,
media?
but his director of video is 21.
Yeah.
Um,
21.
joined the business when he was 17, dropped out of college, sent in his job application was a video that he'd made on whatever platform he'd done it on of Social Chain, charting their story so far. And it was a super professional, really cool video, and he got the job. And he's now director of video for a $50 million turnover business growing like absolute wildfire.
Yeah, be different. You know what? When we went to hire our team members, we said we wanted a video of them for a minute. I want to see their personality. I don't want to see the CV.
Yeah. Fantastic idea. I love it. You know, and get them to show you, like you said, if your whole thing is being different, get them to show you something different.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you really wanted to say or you kind of found really interesting recently you wanted to talk about?
No, I just think women just need to invest in themselves a bit more. Don't give themselves such a hard time. And that's it, really. And I think I've said a few of those things in the interview. It sounds so formal in the chat.
Yeah.
And don't let negativity and other people, so if you've got friendships that you feel uncomfortable with because you've been friends with them from childhood and you've grown apart, it's okay to grow apart as well, because that will then push you forwards. Some people just aren't the right fit, and you don't know that when you're younger.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and it's really hard. I read an article about how to break up with your friends. It's really, people don't do it. People just sort of, they gradually drift. You sort of end up being either phased out or you phase someone out. But
yeah,
if someone's a toxic or just negative influence in your life for a period of time, you're under no obligation to keep them there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've done a lot of soul searching in the last few years, and that's probably from the stuff that's happened to me, and I've probably got that fuck it attitude a little bit. But you get one life, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to make the best of it. What makes you happy?
Yeah, well, you look like you're doing a lot of what makes you happy, Francesca, and I hope your business continues to grow. And when we come out of this lockdown, I've absolutely no doubt you guys are gonna do great things. So
thank you.
Really appreciate you talking to us today.
Oh, I appreciate you asking me, honestly. And obviously we'll keep in touch. Hear a bit more about your business next time.